Well, I'm from New York, grew up in the Bronx. Actually was born in Puerto Rico. My parents are Dominican and lived in the Bronx all my life. When I was 16, I had my first child. And at that time, I actually put myself into foster care. So I was in foster care until the age of 21. It was every 6 months. I think I was in a different home until I got to the foster family that I still am in contact with. They became my family. 4 years ago, I heard Texas. I said, what's in Texas? So I decided, let me come visit it. Let me see what's going on out here. I visited, and then a month later, I moved down. Just me and my little one. I've been through low valleys, but this was my lowest valley because I did it by myself. And I'm like, I've suffered with depression before, but this was different. Now, when I was in Florida, I did get finally the opportunity to meet Christ, and I did dedicate myself. When I moved to Texas, I actually backslided, and I felt like I turned my back on him. And so when I went through my new valley, I didn't want to come back to him. I didn't want to come and ask to come and help me because I felt like I betrayed him. I was hanging out with some folks, like I was telling you, I was doing the vaping and everything, hanging out, drinking again and everything. When I stopped doing all of that, I started working with the city of Houston. And one day, I just literally had a panic attack at work. I didn't know what was going on. I just felt overwhelmed. I felt flushed. I felt that something wrong was going on. And I went to see a psychiatrist, and that's when they diagnosed me with PTSD, clinical depression, and anxiety. That was always my mentality. It's like, if I know what it is, I can fix it. But this time, I couldn't fix it. My brain could not function to even problem solve. After the panic attack, I just asked for some time off, and I kept asking for more time off. But I wasn't there long enough to ask for FMLA, so this has eventually cost me my job. I would be at home and would be asleep. It felt like something was just holding me down. I want to get up. I was like, I need to get up. I got to do things. I got to clean the house. I got to cook. I got to do something. And it just felt like something was just pushing me down and put me right back to sleep. I went through days on end without showering. If there was a poster board of what depression looked like, it was me. My 5-year-old sitting here eating cereal and ramen noodles because that's what she could make. And because I lost my job, I couldn't pay the rent. And that's when the eviction papers started coming in. 2 weeks before the final eviction happened, I had some new neighbors. So I was in my balcony, just listening to some music and sketching. And they heard the Spanish music playing. And he's like, oh, you're Spanish? I was like, you're Spanish? I didn't know he was Spanish either. And we started talking, and he introduced me to his wife, which was a believer. They took me to their church. So I remember sitting there and coming up to the altar and just crying. Couldn't stop the crying. And I'm crying, and I just feel myself going like this as I'm crying. I'm like, why? And I see a shadow walk by, and I'm like, everybody else was doing their own thing, but I just felt someone just put their hand on my shoulder. And I was like, okay, it's time to let go. And at that moment, I said, move me out the way. It's me. I know it's me. If you're coming to get me, then come get me and move me. I'm like, look at where I'm at. I don't have any money to stay. I had 1 week's worth of money to stay at a hotel. All the shelters were full. I didn't know where to go. And then I finally made it over to the Star of Hope. It reminded me from when I went into foster care. I have my 5-year-old, and I'm like, how is she going to handle this? She even came to me and she says, Mommy, I think we're in a safe place. And that actually helped me put my guard down. Like, I didn't have to do anything. When I'm so used to doing everything, I didn't have to do anything. And I had everything. I wasn't anxious. I was at peace, even. And then I met one of the ladies there, but she's like, well, my church goes to Typhoon, Texas, and they selling tickets if you want to go. She's like, it's okay, come on. I was like, I can't just go and not introduce myself. I didn't feel right. She's like, well, I go to 9:30 Bible study. I was like, okay, no problem, I'll go. Went with her, went to the Abide class, and I never left. Every time I went, just got closer and closer to people. I'm still standing strong. I know you can't take me away. Seeing how much I try to do everything on my own, working 2 jobs, taking care of, my home here in Texas, taking care of my older kids out in Florida. I'm like, I got this, I could do this, I could do everything. And then getting stripped from everything and seeing that I still have and more than what I had when I did work 2 jobs showed me how much greater he is. And my job, having the job that I have, I would have never thought I was qualified for. But he did it all. I won't want to do anything my way no more. It's uncomfortable to do it my way. I know people say that whole meme, Jesus take the wheel. No, Jesus take my life. And really trust him to do it, because he will. He doesn't want you to stay there. Sometimes we are there so that we can cry out. He wants to hear you cry out and say, come get me. As a parent, if our kid calls us and says, I don't feel comfortable where I'm at, come get me. How quickly will we drop what we're doing to come and get them? That's what he's asking you to do. Come get me. You come get you.